So if you guys have followed my channel for any amount of years, for example, you will know that I've not had the best of luck with women until I met Abby. I had one girlfriend lie about having cancer for over a year. I had another girlfriend lie about being pregnant. I had another girlfriend cheat on me with my best mate. And then this is just another one of those shitty stories in my life. For anybody that knows who this person is, I don't want you to give them hate. I'm not making these videos for hate. I'm not making these videos for, you know, slandering someone. Hence why I'm not going to mention them by name. These videos are purely, I want to say entertainment, but that's not the right word, is it? These are just videos for you guys to have a little bit of more of an insight into my life. And I guess if people are going through similar situations, to know that I've been through it as well and they're not alone. Before we get going with this video though, I want to thank everybody for going over to my new YouTube channel and subscribing. It's called The Fox Family. It's where I'm going to be posting all of my pregnancy stuff. It's going to be where I'm posting all of my baby stuff, my journey to being a dad, and then being a dad in a few months when that happens. All of that's going on that channel, and I'd appreciate it a lot, like so much, if you guys could go over there and support it. Just drop it a subscribe. I'm gonna be posting there way more than I'm gonna be posting on this channel, so yeah, every subscription as always means a lot to me. So if you wouldn't mind taking 5 seconds out of your day to make mine and Abby's day better, then please drop that and subscribe. But I guess without any further hesitation, let's get going with the video. So I was with this girl back when I first started making Facebook videos. If anybody remembers, back in the day, I started off my video making shit on Facebook. I was quite big on Facebook. I was like one of the last people to grow organically, not from like share for share pages and, you know, paying people for shares on massive pages and blah, blah, blah. I was one of the last people to grow legitimately. And then my account got hacked and I lost it and Facebook never gave it to me back. So if you're still following what is now the Mighty Fox, just unfollow it. That's not me. But back in the day, I used to make Facebook videos. And I'm not sure if I've ran through the story of how I came about being on YouTube and Facebook. But the long story short is I was working in a primary school. I made the kids a video in one of the schools I was working at, teaching them how to play basketball. And I made it funny with a little blooper reel and like, don't do this, and fell over and blah, blah, blah. And all the kids loved it. And one of the kids goes to me, oh, why don't you put these videos on YouTube? And I was like, oh, it wouldn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. A couple of weeks later, I upload my first couple of videos on this channel. They're all deleted now, don't worry. And I was like, oh, I need a Facebook page to go with this. You know, what should I do? I made a Facebook page, released the Grey Elephants from Denmark video, and I blew up on every social media, and it was fucking crazy. But back in that time, this was 2016? Early 2000, I don't know. Years ago. So back when I first started, I was with this girl. I still wasn't 18 yet. I wasn't allowed to go out clubbing and blah, blah, blah. She was a couple of years older than me. I think she was 19 and I was 17 at the time. Just turned 17, she was something like that. So I was dating her for about 3 or 4 months. It wasn't a long relationship, but it was a very toxic relationship. It was very controlling. It was very manipulative. It was very dark. It wasn't love. It was like I wasn't afraid to leave, but I didn't know what she would do to herself if I broke up with her, if that makes sense. I don't want to go into it, but I guess some people understand what that means. She was a very unstable person. Let's leave it there. So at the start of every relationship, I guess it always starts off, okay, that's why you persist to carry on. And there's no other story with this. It started off, it was fine. I met her at this, it was just like a park party, like in Cambridge. There's just like, it was in this place called Jesus Green, right? If anyone's from Cambridge, they'll know what that means and where that is. But basically, I just got told by a couple of my mates that they were gonna have like a party in the middle of a park and bring speakers and have drinks and shit. And she was there, and I got with her at a park party in Cambridge. So basically that night we kind of like, we got together, you know? We would, yeah. I don't know what else to say. So me being me, I don't like to, you know, use somebody or make somebody feel like I'm using them. So I met her afterwards and stuff and wanted to see where it would go. So we met up in Cambridge, I think the next weekend, like the following weekend, obviously we got each other's numbers, and we had a Costa, and we just had a chat, and we went shopping. And it wasn't a bad date, it wasn't the best date, but it wasn't bad. You know, it was alright. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd rate it a 5. And in this relationship, for some reason, stuff started moving really quickly. Like, really quickly. Like, we obviously got together one night at a party, had our first date a week later, and then about 2 weeks after that, we were together and staying around each other's houses. It was a very quick moving relationship. And obviously at the time, my social media started blowing up. So I was really busy on making videos, trying to make content, trying to work that and doing another job at the same time. So I didn't have a lot of spare time, and I knew that the most important thing for me at the time was a career. Something that I could sustain, and unfortunately YouTube just stopped paying me eventually, but oh well. So I told her that I couldn't really spend much time with her. Like, I'd try and spend like 1 day a week with her, like overnight, but then the other 6 days I had to work. I had to work, 20 hours a day. Not that much, probably about 18. But you know what I mean. I was grafting, like I was really, really grafting. And she didn't really like this. She, as I said earlier, it was like a controlling relationship. She wanted to own me in a weird way. I felt it was a weird, I don't know, it was weird, right? Bearing in mind she was older than me, it was just weird. So she would just come over to my house when all my family were out and just like knock on the door, and I'll be like, I'm working. She'd be like, oh no, can I just chill and blah blah. And I'm quite a nice person. I don't want to I didn't want to turn her away because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to make her upset. It's so complicated. So I stopped working as much because she kept on coming over because she knew that I'd let her in. And one day I basically just went, look, you can't come round unless I tell you to come round because it's unfair on me. And she took this really to heart, and she just like fucked off. And she was telling me when we were together that like if we broke up she was going to kill herself and all of this shit. And it's that sort of emotional blackmail with somebody like me especially that traps us. We get trapped in this weird state. I didn't want to be with her at this point because it was unhealthy. It was controlling. She wanted to be around me all the time. If I got a text from my sister, she'd go mental and be like, who's that? It's like the stereotypical Facebook psycho. That's what she was. She'd constantly be on my phone. Like if I was editing a video in the same room, she'd take my phone, she'd go through it all, and she'd be like, who's this, who's this, who's this? I'm like, these are people that watch my videos that are messaging me saying that they enjoy it. She's like, yeah, but they can't message you like that. She even replied back to a few of them with like abusive shit for no reason because she wasn't there mentally. So anyway, I tell her she can't come around anymore, and she just airs me for like a week. Doesn't reply to my messages, doesn't message me, off social media completely, and the first thing in my head is, she's killed herself. Fuck, what have I done? I start feeling really fucking guilty about it, because obviously she'd been telling me that if we broke up she'd kill herself. We were only together like 2 months at this point. It was ridiculous. So I started getting really worried, and I'm like, fuck, I need to go find this person. So obviously I know where she lives. I go around, knock on her door, and her mum's like, she's staying with her dad. And I was like, is she alright? Yeah, she's fine, Michael. Perfect. Have no worry. At this point, I was sure that she'd broken up with me because she hadn't spoken to me for a week. I wasn't sure if she just blocked me on social medias and that's why I couldn't see new posts or anything. I wasn't really paying attention that deeply. But I was like, okay, leave it, fine, perfect. I didn't really want to be with her at the time anyway. She was really unstable and it just wasn't going to work. So I was like, okay, we'll nip it in the bud, I'll leave it there. So about a week after this, so 2 weeks after I told her to leave me alone, I get a text message. Open the text message. There was no words in this text message. There was nothing other than a picture of a pregnancy test. And there was a little positive line in it. So I'd already been told by somebody before this that they were pregnant, and I'd found out that it was a lie. And I realised at that point that some girls, if they're not, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, but some people try and trap people in relationships. One of my ex-girlfriends did it by lying about cancer. Another one of my exes obviously lied about being pregnant as well. And then this one. So by the third time, I'm like, this can't be real. You're not pregnant, because I was using protection. So even if you are pregnant, it's somebody else's. That was my mentality. I was like, this can't be mine. I've been through this similar situation before. Fuck this. But obviously, me being me, I had to reply back in some sort of way and try and trick her out in it. You know, just trick her out. Because I don't like being lied to. I don't like being manipulated. I can take some of it, you know, gentle bits of, oh, I was at Tesco's, but they were at Costa. You know, it's not a different... Do you know what I mean? That's not... But if somebody starts lying, like, I'm at home and they're out clubbing and shit like that, I don't like it. I'll try and, like, catch them out in their own bullshit. So in my head, I knew she was lying, but there's always that little 10% bit that she might not be. So I had to be careful about trying to trick her out, because if I was just like, you're lying, and she was pregnant, I look like a dick. So I sent back, whose house are you round? That's not your kitchen top. Or something like that. It was something really stupid. But like, in my head I was like, oh, I'm gonna catch her out with some bullshit here. And she was like, that's around my friend's house. Oh shit, I really shouldn't have said her name. Whoops. I'll just beep it out. So obviously alarm bells start ringing, because I'd never heard of this friend that she was around before. I'd never heard of this beep girl. So I look for a friends list and there's nobody with that name. And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. I'm like, wait, who's that? To her. She goes, oh, it's my dad's cousin. I'm like, oh, okay, that could make sense. And I was trying to just catch her out and shit, but she seemed to have like a solid thing. She seemed to have a solid, not argument, but a solid storyline. So I said to her, I was like, are you sure this is mine? Probably a bad idea. So, and she goes mental, right? She's like, of course it's yours. I haven't had sex with anyone else. Blah, blah, blah. So I go to go meet her. I organise to go meet her. And I say, can you bring the pregnancy test? I want to see it in person. I go meet her in a park near my house. And she has the pregnancy test in her hand. I'm like, oh shit, this seems legit. I check it. It's a real pregnancy. It had piss on. It was pink where the piss was. It had the cross. I even did a little like smudge to see if it came off. Nothing came off, and I was like, "You're pregnant? Holy like, oh my god!" And I had all the feelings that I did when Abby got pregnant. It's mad. At the time, I wasn't told I was infertile, so I knew that it was a possibility. That I think that's why Abby getting pregnant was more of a blessing. But in the back of my head, I've been in this position before. I've been in a position where somebody's lied to me about being pregnant or having cancer. I'm like, I can't risk it. Even if you are pregnant, I can't risk being with you. And then it was just a really fucking confusing thing. It really was. So we fast forward a week, right? I'm trying to mend stuff with her. And this girl's best friend posts on Facebook that she's pregnant. And she uploads a photo of a pregnancy test. Little do I know, that is the same fucking photo that she sent me. Same photo, exactly same work top, exactly same cross. The pregnancy test I saw was this girl's. That was the only explanation in my head. I messaged her, I was like, oh my god, did Caitlin, she called her Caitlin. Did Caitlin have your pregnancy test the other day, by the way? Oh, it went missing, I don't know where it went. But she was around my house, blah, blah, blah. Called her up and I'm like, Caitlin told me that she was pregnant. She showed me this test. And I showed her the picture, and obviously it's the same picture that this girl posted. I was like, screenshot the chat and sent it to her. And she just goes quiet, doesn't say anything to me. Next day she replies back and goes, get out, leave, get out of her life. She's a fucking psychopath. I was like, what do you mean? She stole the pregnancy test when she was around this girl's house and taken that to show me. And she was using that to get back with me. She didn't know how to get back with me. That's why she didn't reply for 2 weeks, according to like her friend. The picture that I was sent by the girl's best friend to her, like the same picture that she posted on Facebook, before she announced it, like a week before. Because she wanted to have her first scan and know that everything was fine. And she said that obviously she just saved that picture and sent it to me and used it as an excuse. So I messaged this girl, pretending I don't know, you know, what just happened. I don't, like, pretending I have no idea what's going on. I say, how's the baby? How are you feeling? I was like, I can take you to the scan if you want. You know, knowing full well that she was lying about the whole thing. And she turns around and she goes, I lost it. I was like, what do you mean you lost it? She goes, it came out. you weren't pregnant. What do you mean it came out? And I started going batshit crazy. I was fucking fuming. I was like, and then she was just saying like she was gonna kill herself and all this shit because I didn't believe her and blah 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 blah. And then it just got dark and she was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you and all of this shit. And then she just went quiet. Just blocked my number, blocked my social medias, blocked everything, and haven't spoken to her since. There's not a lot of help with some people. Some people can't help themselves and can't get help. And I believe she's one of those people. I've no idea what she's doing now, no idea what she's like now. And it's for the best. I guess if you guys have ever been in a similar situation to this, you'll know how I felt and what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, be careful out there. There's some really weird psychopathic people. These are the people, Shane Dawson, you should make a documentary on. Not Jake Paul for being a sociopath, because he's just a bad child. That's it. Let me know the weirdest situation you've ever had with an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or somebody that you've got with, and comment it down below, and I'll pin one of you guys as top comment. Again, subscribe to the Fox Family channel if you have not already. It means a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.